What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day of the RSL. I'm Tasteless. Joined with me is Sturgeon. How's it going, man?
It's going very well, dude. Yesterday we had a kind of a short day, some quick sets. Hoping for some more competitive sets here today and some more awesome StarCraft.
Yeah, hopefully a little bit more of a back and forth here today. Yesterday, 2 3-0s. We were in the losers bracket yesterday. Today we're going back up into the winners bracket. Should be some exciting games today for sure.
Absolutely. So we got some bangers lined up here. We got Classic, who was able to take out Bjorn in the first round of the playoffs. Now he has another PBT, but he's going up against Clem.
Yeah. Before we go into our games, we want to thank our sponsors at Archon Studio. They're the official broadcast partner of Season 1 of the RSL. They are launching the StarCraft Tabletop Miniatures game. Check out their website. They've got a bunch of great products on there. The Tabletop Miniatures game is going to be on pre-sale later on at the end of this year. And because of their support, we were able to double the prize pool.
Woo.
Yes. Of course, we would not be able to do the RSL without the support of the community. If you love StarCraft II, if you love these long format tournaments where you get to follow them over days and days and days, like a full season, consider signing up for our Patreon. It's patreon.com/ReviveSC2. The more you support our tournament, the more you get to interact with it as well. We have votes for players, for maps, so if you haven't done it already, consider signing up. We also have 20% off on all Tasteless TV merch.
Holy moly.
Oh my God, Christmas came early, guys. We've got hoodies, we've got mugs, we've got t-shirts, we've got pins. In case you're like, wearing your denim jacket with no sleeves, your rocker jacket, you can put some RSL pins on there. We got a lot of other cool stuff on the shop, so that's just another way that you can support our cause here at the RSL. We've gotten pretty deep into this tournament. Oh, I almost forgot we had this graphic here. So, guys, one of the most important things for the RSL to grow is that you subscribe to the RSL YouTube. Obviously, some of you are watching this live right now, but many of the people that follow competitive StarCraft II, they've got jobs or they've got kids, or look, the scheduling, maybe they're in America. It's hard to follow a tournament that's being broadcast out of Asia. Go subscribe to our RSL YouTube. That's at ReviveSC2. And there you can keep track of all of the matches we have. We're also making sure to upload the VODs in full, so it's almost like episodes of like a Netflix show or something like that. We can also keep you updated on Twitter as well. So we really want that YouTube to grow so we can get this out to as many people as possible. In our brackets, we're going to be doing the top 2 up here. It's going to be Classic and Clem, and then SHIN and Cure. And we're actually in our first game right now, so we're going to hop into that. And this is going to be, I think, a fantastic match. I think it's really tough to say who's going to take this. Classic just winning a GSL. Clem, former world champion. It's going to be a banger.
Well, yeah, Clem, current world champion, right? He's
excuse me, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, he is, the top dog right now. Clem is on fire. Playing so well. If you watch his recent games, he's killing people real quick. Super aggressive pushes and timings. And, but on the other hand, looking at Classic's games, he did take out Bjorn in the first round. That was the same matchup, so he's had some recent XP there. And I thought he was looking really strong in that matchup, so we'll have to see how it goes today.
Yeah. This has been a map that's been pretty interesting to unpack as we've gone through this season of the RSL. This is a map where it does feel like the third base is kind of claustrophobically close to your opponent. And so it feels like a lot of times both sides are incentivized to try to put pressure on each other. Some of these other StarCraft II maps we have, the travel distance is quite long, right? And those generally lead to more macro kind of developing games. But when you have players squished together, sometimes the games do get a little bit more action-packed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can see that favoring Clem a little bit more than Classic here, as he's going to be the one putting the pressure onto Classic. He does a lot of timings. He's been using a lot of these Banshee pushes recently. He does, Marine Tank, Banshee. Sometimes it's with Cloak, sometimes it's without. But the Banshees aren't even to kill workers. You just straight up use them in the fight, and they're glass cannons, right? They do huge damage to Stalkers and stuff, so... he also does lots of Hellion Reaper builds. We'll have to see what he goes for here. The factory is going down now, as well as the base. But I definitely think he'll be the first one to make a move and make use of this short rush distance.
Yeah, I got to say, it was a real treat to cast Clem in Riyadh, becoming the world champion. I don't feel like his form has fallen off at all as I'm watching him play. We have some people that they conquer the world and then they atrophy a little bit. It's almost understandable, right? Like,
Right.
you've basically made the highest achievement you can in your career. And then maybe they might focus on other things. But Clem is looking to be in incredible condition. And I think this is going to be a really interesting match, probably a pretty long, drawn-out series. Classic has also really, I think, established himself as the macro defending Protoss. You know, you got people like Hero. They're very explosive. They like to do a lot of pushes. But Classic really likes to stay back and kind of tech.
Yeah, definitely. He's a big macro player, likes to sit back and defend, get that economic advantage, and then make a huge army, right? We do see the first Adept coming in. Actually gets... Okay, he shaded up there, but didn't decide to commit to it. He does see a little bit of information, though. We have some Hellions coming out. We have the Marines. And it's going to be a mine opener here for Clem. The Starport will follow. And on Classic side, he's going for a Stargate. So at the moment, there's kind of a couple ways you can play this matchup, right? You can open Blink, and you can try and catch Terran units out on the map, you know, kill a few units as they push you type thing. Or you can go for the Stargate, which isn't necessarily the most popular choice right now, but I think Classic likes this a lot.
Oh, I thought that Hellion was going to see that probe.
Ooh.
You know, this is one of those positions where if you can just kill the worker that's over there, you're never going to be able to mine out those patches. But very quietly here, Classic's going to open up the back door of his base. It seems like, and this, I don't know if Clem saw the missing mineral patch. That might have been a hard thing to spot, but that could be abused later on. He could send Hellions back in there. We're actually getting Phoenixes made here for Classic.
Yeah, I mean, this build is good against certain things, right? I was actually just about to say it's good against the Raven harass that Terrans like to do. You just can't do that against Phoenixes, right? You can't hold a Raven in the airspace behind the Protoss base and drop turrets all day because the Phoenix will clear them out. It's also good against Banshees, which Clem has shown a little bit recently. As this drop comes in here, the first aggression from Clem, to start focusing down these probes. He gets 3, but not that many, and the Phoenixes are coming in, lifting up some Marines. Clem will boost out of there, but already a few probes going down.
This Widowmine is still here. I think he's attacking it now. He's going to unload these Marines over here and try to get a few more workers. We already have 5 probes down. Could possibly go for a couple more here. The Hellion actually... Okay, I was going to say if he got maybe one more shot, it could get even more damage, but 7 probes is decent.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. And this is the one good thing about Phoenix is you get to clean out these medevacs, right? Like, if you open Blink and you don't have Blink yet, they can kind of run around and be annoying, but Clem is able to... Classic is able to shut that down pretty quickly. And is he gonna commit to sending this Raven across the map? It could be dangerous if the Phoenixes are there. However, if they're across the map killing SCVs, then maybe you'll get away with some harassment here.
Yeah, I guess if the Phoenixes aren't there, right, there's no actual punish. But, you know, Raven, it's a slow-moving unit, right? So to send it out, I mean, if there are Phoenixes on the map, I feel like you can't get it back home.
Right.
But, yeah, let's see what he wants to do with that. On the Protoss side of things, the third base is done, and it's going to be populated with probes shortly here. He's getting his Robo, and he's getting Zealot Charge, and Phoenixes are continuing to be accumulated.
Yeah, absolutely. And as the Phoenix numbers grow larger, okay, so there we do see the Raven drop the turret, but like we were talking about, the Phoenixes are here. They just kill it right away, and that Raven did not get the value that you're looking for. You know, usually you want to kill a bunch of probes, waste a bunch of mining time, and you can keep the Protoss units at home. If they open Stalkers, they have to leave some, and that can take away from their main army. He is going for this Colossus Bay now, so we could see some Colossus coming out here. He's got Charge on the way, making an Observer to get some vision. Yeah,
and this has been a trend right now in PvT, and I think Classic's probably been the best at playing in this style, but it seems like in some cases, the Protoss doesn't have to do so much to solve the game. They just kind of keep growing. They keep teching, they keep getting like Storm, they get like Colossus range, you know, and then it gets to the point where the Protoss can get so big it feels like the Terran almost can't overcome them. So in some ways I look at this matchup and I feel like there's a role here for the Terran, and that's that they have to try to come in there and get the kill. Nice shot, getting 2 Phoenixes there too.
2 Phoenixes going down, yeah, and absolutely, like you said, Classic gets the earlier third base, so he's going to be the one sitting back. And we all know Protoss need splash damage to deal with the Terran Bioforce. So normally you have them going towards, you know, Colossus or Storm, and then the Terran is reacting to that, right? They're going Ghosts if they need to deal with Storms, and then they produce Vikings to deal with the Colossus. I'm expecting the 4th base out of Classic sometimes seeing 1 red hit point Marine just running in here trying to get some pros. That's Rambo down there, dude. He is fearless, but that's actually kind of distracting Classic as the army moves across the map here.
Yeah, you know, one of the things with Terran is, like, if you can get set up, if you can get a foothold outside of their base, a lot of times that's how you can kind of drag out the damage here. He's coming, and I think now Classic's going to see it, but this might have blindsided him here. The Colossus is actually wrapping up the wrong side. Okay, that's going to merge with the rest of the army. 3 Widow Mines are planted here. It's going to be very difficult for Zealots to charge in and actually be effective.
Oh, dude, he's got the perfect setup here, like you were talking about, able to bring the tank all the way up to the ramp. This flank is way too early here from Classic. He needs to time this correctly, or this Bioforce is going to do huge damage. Starts targeting the Robo. He's going to have to back off. The Widowmine shots go down. Phoenix is coming in. Going to one sentry on the left, and Classic just GG's.
Yeah, I mean, Clem is... It's clinical. These pushes he comes in, he just dissects the Protoss so perfectly. Yeah, I thought there was a chance Classic might be able to hang on, but the 3 Widow Mines stacked the way they were, it's so hard to actually get the Zealots to come in, and you need the Zealots to soak up some of the damage so everything else can do their job. So Clem takes that.
One Marine dragged that whole army out of position.
Yeah.
And then Clem said, okay, thank you for the space, moved in, put the mines on the top of the ramp. Like, that, you should not be able to do that. Put the mines on the top of the ramp, the tank at the bottom, got a perfect position, and was able to instantly end the game.
A lot of times when you see the Terran come in at you, you almost want to, like, try to meet them on the way and, like, force the siege, force the Widow Mine, and then you want to back it up. And if you can force them to siege and unsiege maybe 2 or 3 times, I mean, sometimes you've accumulated enough that you can fight them. Or maybe you can counterattack or something like that. But Clem, you know, we were talking earlier about in TVP, it feels like the Terran has to end the Protoss. The Protoss can just kind of keep almost playing like single player, right? Just like keep expanding and growing and completing the tech tree. Well, Clem did exactly that.
Yeah, and we were talking about the Phoenix opener. One downside to that is that you can't really meet the Terran army on the map as well, right? If you open with lots of Stalkers and Blink, you can get out on the map, force the siege, like you said, pick off a few units, back off, do it again, and try and really delay the push. But when you open with Phoenixes, you don't have that same kind of map presence, and sometimes the Terran walks across the map and just kills you, like, which, yeah, I mean, that was a basically perfect push from Clem.
Yeah. Yeah, beautifully done. Okay, so we're going to go into game 2 now. I got to say, out of all the players we've seen in this tournament, I feel like Clem has played the closest to perfect for RSL.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like a complicated game, and then Clem goes, no, you just do this push and, like,
yeah.
kill them in 6 minutes.
I feel like Classic might be one of the best in the whole world at kind of holding off Terran pushes.
Right.
You know, like, he's not been very cheesy lately. But, yeah, Clem just made that look so straightforward and easy. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if we can have a cleaner game here from Classic. It did seem like, and you already pointed this out, Sturgeon, but that one Marine was like such a nuisance that it kind of allowed the rest of the army to pilot quietly across the map and just set up an ambush.
Yeah, that was so insane. And I think the question going in here, going into game 2 here is, does Classic go again for the Stargate opening, or will he go for this Blink? Because I think if he can't slow these pushes down from Clem, he's going to have a super tough time. These SCVs being super annoying, you know, the probe being super annoying, trying to delay this CC for as long as it can. It will go down, of course. And the factory from Clem, we'll have to see if he goes for mines again. Cyclones are super popular right now. There's a whole bunch of choices for Terran, so we'll see what Clem's choice is in here in a moment.
Yeah. For now, we're just going to wait and see what kind of tech it's going to be. I'm curious if we're going to have Phoenixes again.
Yeah, me too.
That's a little bit off-brand from what I'm used to seeing here from Classic, but, you know, the Phoenixes are, when they can isolate things and eliminate them from the game, they're great, but, like, a lot of times when there's enough Marines, it's like the Phoenix is just get obliterated, like, immediately and really don't get much done. They might, like, pick up a tank for a second and then die.
Yeah, for sure. On this map, we do have the close air. The bases are kind of close by air. There is this direct route from the main to the main in a straight line. So this is the kind of map where air units can be good, but it is going to be the Twilight going down from Classic. So we'll have to see how the Blink Stalker play goes for him this game. This is a larger map as well, right? So he's going to be able to try and get out on the map and delay the Terran push as long as he can. And we should see the Blink firing up here shortly.
This is always a good move if you can delay that command center. Oh, is this SCV going to get away? Okay.
Oh.
Does not get the execution on the SCV.
Yeah, able to deal with that harassment pretty well. And Blink is on the way, like we talked about. This probe will return home after being a complete nuisance for the last couple minutes. Clem goes for a Cyclone this game, and as we all know, the Cyclone is pretty strong right now. A lot of players having difficulties with it, so we'll see. It's probably going to be like he's going to do a Marine Cyclone push with the medevac to support. Actually making use of the healing zone. I really like that when players use these map-specific things, and off it goes, zooming around the side of the map.
Looks like it's going to get intercepted by the Stalker up here. He's going to have to send that back to the healing zone. Yeah, I felt like when this map first came out, I kept talking about the healing zone, and it just never... It never became a thing, and so I just sort of gave up on it. But yeah, the last 2 weeks we've had a lot of usage of that, which is nice. I like these new features on the maps being used. Now, while that Hellion's been zipping around the map, there is a medevac inbound, and it seems like Classic senses that this is about the time this drop should come in, so he's going to have a pretty preemptive position over here.
Yeah, wow, Clem going straight to the main. He's going to drop these units, start targeting down the Stalkers. That one microed beautifully away by Classic. He's got to keep as many units alive here as he can. Oh, but 2 Stalkers go down, and he saves the Cyclone.
That was a funny interaction. For a second, it looked like Classic was going to have that handled perfectly and not lose anything. But in the last second, I mean, the Cyclone's so hard to deal with, right? It's so abusive as a unit. So Classic's going to continue to develop. This is pretty standard PvT for like the current meta. Oh, he's going to use the healing zone again.
Oh my God,
we
he's
love
doing
that.
it.
So
he was quick as well, right?
Yeah, they definitely did not waste any time with it, giving all that HP back there. Now, Classic's playing a standard game, right? He's got Blink, which is going to keep him, in theory, safe from drops. Oh my God, he's just going to YOLO in here and probably recall out once he gets cornered.
Yeah, he's using the mobility of these Stalkers. He's actually not going to recoil, just able to blink down that cliff into the base over here.
I don't feel like that was very good. I don't think you want to lose that much HP on the Stalker there.
Right. I mean, if you get a couple workers, you can say it's worth it, but yeah, wasn't able to this time. And once this one Cyclone still being so annoying, 5 probes going down here. This is a lot of economic damage so early in the game. Will he get some more Stalkers? One goes down, and the medevac gets out.
Can you put a Stalker on the other side of there and hit that, or is that actually a safe spot? I'm not so sure.
It looks like it's safe. I mean, if it wasn't, he would go kill it right now, so I'm guessing it's safe. And that's super annoying, but it is kind of stuck there for a while, right?
Yeah, that's its home now. So he's just going to leave that up there. That might be handy later on. We've already got 7 probe kills. I mean, this is looking pretty good for Clem right now. Let's not forget, he got a decent number of worker kills early on, and that seemed to be enough of a layup that he just moved across the map and killed Classic.
Yeah, for sure. But he is on the other hand, he's on 3 Nexus, pumping out probes as fast as he can. So he's got a healthy worker count here, not too far behind or anything. And we do see Classic going into the Storm here, as well as Zealot Legs. So he's going to try and get some high tempo around the field. A drop going to the main again. We talked about a close air position. Super good for drop play from Terrence. Okay, that medevac finally going down here. The drop is coming in. There's nothing here to defend it right now. Classic needs to get back in the main. Okay, even able to put a mine down in the main base. More probes going down. Clem being super aggressive here. Watch out for the mine shots, Classic.
Oh! Okay, I mean, eating a little bit more losses there with the army. Clem has continued to basically just stay mobile, continue to harass. I think this command center is being finished at the same time as the last one. I'm curious to see how much the soon-to-be push is going to look like the last one. No 4th base yet for Protoss. But, yeah, I mean, Clem's gotten his jabs in. He's gotten his damage in.
Yeah, this is kind of a good early game from Clem. This is what you want to see. Some probe damage, killing some Stalkers, thinning out the Protoss army a little bit. He's seen that Classic is going into Storm, and he has his Ghosts on the way, perfectly on time, so he'll be able to get some EMPs out and deal with those Storms. And what we usually see from Clem against Storm is multi-prongs. He'll split his army into 2 or 3 and try to attack the Protoss from multiple angles. This little group of Bio is actually going to deny the 4th base going down. And even catch this observer here. Clem is on fire right now.
Yeah, Clem's really playing very, very well. And, you know, taking out these observers is going to make, you know, when that actual push comes, it's going to make it that much stronger. The Raven takes a decent amount of damage, but it's not killed off. The medevac does go down. This is kind of a weird moment because we have Classic. He's threaded his army in between the 2 armies, and he's like, I can't tell where he's going. Is he going to just try to attack here? It's like they both almost moved past each other like two ships in the night.
Right. And Classic's actually taken that base a little bit further forward than the one he was trying to originally. Okay, we've got a big fight here in the middle of the map. Classic trying to catch this Clem army out. You can just pick up into the medevacs and get away. Potentially, the High Templars come down, no Storm available, and Clem will manage to get out of there. But Classic's army is looking pretty good right now. He's keeping his upgrades going. Second robo on the bay, that fourth base like we talked about. He's macroing up.
Yeah, this new base is in a funny location, and it might not get scouted.
Yeah, but it looks so vulnerable.
No, I mean, it looks like a really dangerous place on the map to take. I actually never thought we'd see a base taken there as a fourth base ever in a game here. So
yeah.
Now it might just not be spotted because this, it's almost like it doesn't make sense, so you're not going to look there.
Right.
Instead, you can see Clem's rushing up here in the top right to try to deny a base here. Could he inadvertently move through this area and just see this and get a free kill?
Yeah, maybe the medivacs are going to spot the probes as they begin to mine as he passes, but if he finds out about that, okay, he's actually might get his army caught down here. He picks up, tries to boost away using these speed zones. He still doesn't know about this base, so but he's got to be super careful here. This Protoss army catching the medevacs, the Blink Stalkers jump on them, and all his army goes down.
Yeah, I mean, that just got totally devastated. Great catch there by Classic. That's probably going to put him up into the lead now here, as Clem's army is just going to be smaller. It doesn't look like that fourth base is going to be denied. It doesn't seem like there's any opportunity to do that, especially now that Clem's army has shrunk a little bit due to that lost fight up there in the top right. We've got the War Prism coming here now. He's going to unload these Zealots, and this is basically just going to keep Clem pinned in his base for longer while Classic continues to grow on the map.
Yeah, this is so annoying to deal with, that War Prism in the back while the Protoss main force is moving through the middle of the map here. He's got to be careful. He does have Colossus on the way. He might want to wait for those. He has 2 Colossus on the way, and Viking production's just starting up now, so there may be a window where you can get a lot of damage done with those. Actually, chronoing out the upgrades here. He's got a lot of upgrades on the way, Thermal Lance. And I wonder if he's going to try a timing here, or if he's just, okay, he's going to take another base in the top right and just continue to grow here and keep growing that economy. I think Classic's in a really good spot here, actually.
Yeah, I think Classic is kind of getting to that phase where you're sort of out of range. Nice storms. When Thermal Lance is done, which it's about to finish, and you can blanket areas with storms, it's so hard for the Terran to ever get in and get their damage off first. By the way, now it's funny because it's in like a weird order, but the 5th base is being taken at the very, very top right. And the pressure that Classic has here, I don't think that Clem can counterattack. I think if he were, he would just get run over in his main.
Yeah, maybe a big engagement going here down from Classic. The storms drop on the Bio army. Big storm to start there. The charge lot's kind of indecisive, running in and out, and this Protoss army is kind of getting flanked, surrounded here by all this Bio. The Zealots need to get at the front. Their job is to tank, and there they go finally. But this is so much Bio still remaining. The units getting healed up by the medevacs. The blink goes down. It's hard to see who's winning this one. He has a bunker there available. He can put units in.
I've had no idea who's going to win this fight the entire time.
Right, yeah. So
it seems like Clem is able to push back. This is going to really even the game out here because actually this could be even worse here for Classic because he's lost a lot of the complexity in his army. The Robo units were taken out. The Templars were taken. It's just like Stalkers and Zealots, which is very, very basic. And, Terran, obviously Terran lost a bunch, but the Terran basic units are kind of better than the Protoss basic units when you get pretty late into the game. Stim Marine Marauder with Medevacs is just better than Zealot Stalker.
Right. The downside for Clem is he did have to pull SCVs, though, to defend
True.
that, right? So he lost like 25 of those, and he's down a ton of workers right now. So while he survives, Classic is continuing to grow, and the supply lead is starting to get a bit larger here. He's really on top of his attack upgrades, but we don't have that second armor upgrade coming out yet for Classic. I wonder if he'll get that next. He's starting to position himself down on the right side of this map. Maybe going to try and attack again near the 4th base. We'll have to see. He's going to go through this choke again. And Classic taking another base on the right side of the map. He doesn't want that triangle base at all.
No.
We're going to push.
He's not interested in one bit. We've got a big push coming in here for Classic. And, Clem is kited back. He was kited back into a corner. I don't know if Classic's going to go for it. Instead, he's going to shift his attention up here to a very exposed 3rd base, hitting that triangle expansion. The CC is going to be lifted off. The SCVs are actually going to be used in the fight. The storms are going to come down here, and this is melting a lot of the Terran units. A lot more workers are going to go down. This, I think, could be GG, especially as those zealots come in there and hit.
Wow, what a game from Classic. Dealt with all that medevac, early aggression, you know, dropping the main base repeatedly. Yeah. Tried to take the 4th base in the corner. Clem found it, killed it. He said, okay, I'm going to take this base. You'll never expect this, because it's kind of random, honestly, to take it there. And then he just built his army up, macroed really well, had a great time in there where he took out 25 SCVs, and then I think from that point he was really far ahead.
Yeah, it was, you know, it was kind of like the way we've talked about this matchup looking now. I mean, the Protoss just gets big enough, you know, Storm, excuse me, Thermal Lance on the Colossi, and then just having enough Zealots in the front. It's really hard for the Terran to get much done, right? I mean, the way the StarCraft II engine works, things are very, like clumpy, for a lack of, like, things really are able to bunch up together. So splash damage just becomes totally devastating. Before we go to our break, guys, we're going to mention our Patreon. If you haven't signed up for Patreon, please consider doing so. We need your support. We do have a goal set, so to the point where if we've raised enough money, we want to rent out one of these esports like studios or arenas here in Seoul. I think there's about 6 or 7 of them that we've been looking at. And yeah, we would have like a live event, you know, where you could show up and watch the players and see it happen in person. So yeah, consider signing up for the Patreon. It would mean the world to us. We're going to go to a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue on with this best of 5.
Hello guys, welcome back to the RSL. Sturgeon here. I'm joined by a very special guest today. Rainer is in the building. How's it going, dude?
All good, all good. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited.
Yeah, we saw a great series from you yesterday. Managed to take a quick 3-0 over Hero, dude. How does that feel?
Feels good, man. Especially since Hero has been kind of blasting me in the past. It wasn't even close, you know. Like he was kind of destroying me, and now I'm 6-0 against him. Like Dallas and this.
6-0. That's very impressive. Has something changed for you recently in the matchup, or is it player specific?
Well, to be honest, I've been practicing ZVP so much now, so I think that also helps. But I think I've been thinking about it, and I think the patch is not that great for Hero because he was a very early game oriented player.
Right.
And nowadays you kind of skip the early game and you just go straight to like Stalker and Storm and then chill until Tempest. He doesn't really like to chill that much, so
yeah, he does not like to chill at all. Very aggressive player. And yeah, in that series, you were able to kind of pick him apart with lots of run bys and stuff and multi-prong aggression. And you gave us a very short day.
Yeah, man.
Which is nice for the casters.
Yesterday.
Yeah, locked in. How are you feeling going into the Esports World Cup then? You feel like your form's up there right now?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting there. I think a couple more tweaks, a couple more practice days don't hurt, but I'm feeling very good. I've been winning a couple of tournaments. It's going well.
Awesome, dude. And do you feel like your other matchups are as good as we saw your ZVP yesterday?
Yeah.
It's looking awesome. Do you feel like your other matchups are up there, or is there something you're kind of looking at specifically?
I think my ZVZ is lacking still a little bit. I think my ZVT has gotten a lot better. I think I didn't play that great against Cure. But I think I definitely feel like I can do much better. So yeah, I think ZVP and ZVT are my best right now.
Yeah, the series against Cure was the game 5. Everyone was saying that game 5 was epic.
No, it wasn't epic. It just did nothing. Like, that's not epic at all.
People were saying it was epic. People loved it. Split map, like all the.
Yeah, I hated it personally.
Yeah, okay, sorry to bring that one up.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, we are going to jump into game 3 here between Clem and Classic. The map is going to be Tokamak. And yeah, let's see what comes out this game. Any strategies you're feeling might be prominent on this map in particular?
To be honest, I'm not the TVP expert nowadays, but
dude, I saw you playing Terran the other day. Looked pretty nasty.
Well, I do like going double factory mines in this matchup. I feel like Terran players don't abuse drilling claws as much as they should, because as we saw even the last game, it was really zealot heavy from Classic, right? I think having a lot of mines definitely helps, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it here. But what I've noticed is a lot of the Terrans are just trying to kill the opponents now in the early game, so I think that's what might happen, even though Clem is a bit more of a macro player.
Yeah, for sure. He is a macro player, but he also gets those big timings in early, right? Like he likes his, mine pushes, the Cyclone push we saw last game. It didn't work out in the end. One thing that's consistent is he's made a Raven in both games and tried to harass with it. Classic did go for the Phoenixes in game 1 that kind of shut that down, so I'm curious if he's going to go for that again, or if he's going to go for Blink, which actually won him the game 2.
I think I really doubt we're going to see Phoenixes again personally, because I don't see them working against Clem, and to be honest, I don't see them much at all lately, because I think Protoss players kind of think they suck, and that's the general idea when I talk to them, even about PvT. Sometimes I try and talk to them a little bit, and I think they just hate it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we do see a Reaper coming out. Reaper expand. That probe going to be a little bit annoying. Force that CC to go down off center. Not a big deal. And he will come down here and deal with this probe in a minute. Wait, is he going to deal with this probe in a minute? CV is getting very low.
This is so freaking annoying.
Oh, man. He's having to dance around that CC not to die there. And the Reaper will come out and clean up this probe. Of course, Classic has his Nexus going down back home, and he's going to open with an Adept here.
Yeah, I don't hate it for Classic. You know, he delayed the CC quite a bit. He was off location. Even if he loses this probe, it's not the biggest of deals. That probe is not going to mind that much anyways. It has to go back and stuff. And also delays the Reaper from doing any damage. So I think it's perfectly fine from Classic. And Stalker second, this probably means Twilight Council, and there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
It's going to be some Blink and some Storms, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah,
actually, I'm not, because I get PTSD when I see Terran units get stormed, because it feels like my units get stormed.
Even though you're Zerg?
It's pretty much the same, you know, one storm kind of one-shots you, so...
Yeah, the Storm's pretty good. We'll have to see how he deals with it. Oh, he actually catches... Oh, what a grenade. Beautiful. Bouncing that probe in the opposite direction, so he cannot get away. The Marines in the bunker are going to try and deal with this Adept as it comes across the map. He's not able to... He's actually going to lose the Adept.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. And two probes
Yeah.
going down at the same time. There's suddenly a bit of a disaster for Classic here in the early game.
Yeah, I don't know why he sent the Adept across the map. Nowadays, I don't see it that much. And Clem went double Marine before Reactor, so he was ready for it. So overall, Classic lost one Adept and 3 probes for free.
Yeah, that's big losses, especially this early in the game. Like 3 probes going down this early is a huge loss. And he's going to follow it up with a Hellion and a Mine. So maybe going for a similar push that he tried before. Try and be aggressive with the mines, get them sieged up or planted in an aggressive posture here. This Hellion and Reaper going to try and dive the natural, go for even more probes. They have to evacuate here. Going to get just the one. Oh, they're kind of decisive. Oh, okay, turns around. Okay, both units go down for just the 1 probe, so a small win here for Classic.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think it's okay. Clem wanted to scout a little bit. I think now he knows this is Twilight Council because of 3 gateway units and 2 stalkers. So I think that's a pretty big tell. And Clem is just playing the bread and butter of this matchup. Just pretty standard. You don't want Reaper in mine drop. You don't see it that much nowadays. But yeah, pretty standard.
Yeah, a lot of players going for that Cyclone these days, but Clem does still like his mines. And the Blink is just over halfway done here. The 3rd Nexus goes down. And let's see. Oh, there's actually a Stalker beautifully positioned here at the front. Is going to see this medevac super early, so Classic knows it's coming. Is able to get his units down here in position. The mine's he's going to attack the mine. Will he target him? Oh, he didn't target the probes.
He didn't target, but one Stalker goes down, and this mine is going to be super annoying. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Even more units going down. I think if he targeted that clump of probes, the game might have just ended.
yeah, it might have, but this is like really big damage, you know. Like if you look at the units lost, this is insane. This is not supposed to happen as TOS. And yeah, Classic needs to get his stuff together, man. Like what is this? He needs to lock in. You can't be losing this much to 1 Reaper, 1 Mine.
Yeah, you gotta lock in.
He needs to lock in.
Especially when you saw it so early with that Stalker.
Yeah. It's like they've been dealing this with 10 years and they're like, no, not the Mine coming. You know?
What will I do? Do you think you should have just not tried to attack it with the probes and just put 1 probe on it to set it off?
I think he just should have pulled away the probes completely. I think attacking the Mine never works. It never works. I never see it work.
Yeah, he tried to make a clutch play there, but it did not work out. This medevac stuck in the airspace back behind Classic's main. We actually saw that in the game previously, and Clem left it there until he was doing a push.
Yeah.
And then he moved it out at the same time and tried to sneak it out.
Yeah.
We do have a Raven coming out here for Clem, and Storm is on the way as well as Charge. And we'd like to see Classic be active on the map here with his Stalkers if he could, and shave off a few units.
Yeah.
As the push comes across the map. But
I think something interesting to note is that Classic is really delaying his upgrades. This is something that Protoss players have been doing since 2 base pushes have been mega popular, and just getting through the early to mid game is the hardest part about PvT. I feel like once you get that almost maxed out army and like a bunch of storms, it's much easier. So yeah, Classic is gonna go with that Forge now, which is very late compared to what we used to see in the past, you know?
Yeah, sure. It's after the 3rd base and after Storm and Charge. Like
that.
Okay, yeah.
Just 1 recharge and now it has 2 storms. 2
It's
storms
crazy,
and a half.
man.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
You love to see it, right?
Yeah.
3rd CC is going down for Clem, so he's not going to be super committed to this push. Going to try and get some damage with it, and yeah, like you said, the Forge is super late, so Clem will have an upgrade advantage here for a while.
Yeah, yeah, and that upgrade advantage is not gonna matter if he gets hit by. Oh my god, nice feedback.
Huge feedback there.
That was nasty. Yeah, I liked it. Well, yeah.
One shot that medevac.
Oh my god, careful here. Another feedback. Okay, this Raven is completely useless now. I wouldn't mind if he just sends it back. And I think Classic saw the 2 medevacs going out. Storm does some damage, and Clem walks back into it. We'll see here what he can do. This army is pretty awful from Classic.
Yeah,
Does he have anything in the main?
He does not. Okay, some Zealots finally coming up now. This pylon will go down, and he even gets to siege a tank in the main, which is pretty insane.
Nice
feedback on the medevacs. Yeah, drains them of energy, so no more healing. And Clem will have to pick up and get out. I think Classic did a good job, like forcing the main army to siege in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
Not letting him just let him walk up and get an entrenched position. But Clem gonna multitask here a bit and make him work for it.
To be honest, it was good by Classic, good handling, because when you lose that much stuff in the early game, it feels like you get picked apart really easily in this matchup by Terran, especially by someone like Clem, which is really fast and is obviously not bad. And yeah, so good job by Classic. I think the game is stabilizing a little bit, which is what he wants. He's getting a Prism, second Forge, more High Templars. I think we're like 8 High Templars already. Disgusting.
That's so many storms. Clem does have ghosts coming out to deal with those eventually, but this push is happening right now on the 4th base. Will he be able to get cancelled? No, has to fall back to the mines. Decent mine hits on the Zealots, and there's still a lot of bio left over here. And on the other side, he's hit with another force. Okay, Classic is just about defending here. It's looking pretty tough down here by the 4th base, though. If those mines get their shots back, a ton of Zealots could potentially go down again.
Yeah, yeah, he has to be a little bit careful. But now Classic is getting double storm on this High Templar, so I wouldn't be surprised if Clem just pulls back or doesn't try to do too much anymore. And Classic warping in more Stalkers. Something I find really interesting is that Protoss players have been kind of skipping Colossus lately. They just go straight to Storm, and they don't get Colossus until like really late. And there it is, the Robo-Bait is considerably late, I think, compared to what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, huge storm goes down for Classic. They're gonna.
Oh my god!
Another one.
You see, I see this, and I see my Hydras and Lynx do the same. You know,
it works on a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
He does manage to get the War Prism in the main, though. Going to warp in 5 Zealots here while the main fight's happening. Clem might be distracted here and take some losses back home. These trades look decent for Classic. He's going to shave off some units if he can.
Oh my!
And in the main base, though, this is so annoying to deal with.
Yeah, this is really bad, especially because it's taking pressure off of Classic's shoulders, right? He's getting double upgrade, he's getting the Robo Bay, he's cleaning up this push, and I think all of a sudden this game looks awful for Clem. He might just die here. Honestly.
Oh my god, more than 20 SCVs going down. This suddenly fell apart for Clem here as Classic hits the main base with the War Prism. He's trying to deal with an auto turret. That's what you know is bad.
Yeah, it's a rough day when your 1 HP Raven tries to take care of things. Yeah, but yeah, I think this game is just over, man.
Yeah, another huge warp in the main, and Classic is going to.
Did I see that right?
See what?
I think. Did I see a GG there?
You may have seen a GG.
I'm not sure if there was a GG there.
Oh, no GG. Okay. Sometimes that's how it is, man.
Sometimes you know what happens. You just write it with the invisible link and it just doesn't show up. Sometimes it's stream bug, you know.
Oh yeah, the keyboard as well.
It happens to the best, you know.
Happens to the best of us. Classic, dude.
Yeah, that was rough because it was looking very good for Clem.
Yeah.
Until one storm hit and then, poof.
Yeah, the early game for Clem was amazing. He
was really good.
Basically, everything went his way with the small interactions, with just a couple units at the beginning. But Classic was able to just keep macroing up, get that big army, get Storm, like you mentioned, drop some Storms on the bio, huge damage. And then eventually the Zealots were really what closed it out in the main base.
I'm a big fan of how Clem goes from not GGing to ready, good luck, have fun. You know, it's just like, that game is past us. Let's focus on the next.
Yeah, great mentality here coming out from Clem. Yeah, so we are going into Maganatha for the 4th map. And this is Clem with his back against the wall now.
Yeah. He has to be a little bit careful. I think he has to switch it up a bit, because clearly when the game goes past, I would say 8 minutes, it starts getting really rough and Classic starts getting those storms out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some pretty aggressive stuff here from Clem.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, last game, were there any ghosts out for Clem?
Yeah, he had a couple.
But they weren't that impactful, right?
No, because he just got them out when the storm on the left hit, so he had to retreat on the left, and then he had just 2 little stuff on the right, and then the prism hit at the same time, so he had like a couple of ghosts, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, so much to deal with there from the Protoss. Yeah, the ghosts are obviously the answer to storms, but it wasn't able to put them to as good use as he might hope. In that last game, we'll see what happens in this game. I think the blink play is working out really well here for Classic.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
Phoenix is, I mean, he tried it one game, right? Why not? But it didn't seem to pan out, so I'd probably expect him to go back into the Twilight this game.
Yeah, I think absolutely no way we see a Phoenix this game. I would bet a good amount of money on it.
How much would you bet on it right now?
I don't know. Don't put me on the spot. I'm not a betting man, but if I had to, it would be a solid amount.
Yeah, okay. That's what every betting man says. I would bet this much.
I'm not a betting man, but
if I was,
yeah.
We'll see that later on. Right now, it's going to be a standard Reaper opening for Clem. And on Classic side, okay, he actually gets to... Let's see if he's able to displace the CC again. I think that was a little bit annoying for Clem.
No, I think Classic skipped out on scouting this game, and Clem went for double gas. So this opening, the double gas, delays your CC by quite a bit, but you have considerably faster factory. This might be... No, I think it's just...
checking for proxies
just
down
going
here.
for a walk, getting the steps in for the probe. That's always good. And checking for proxies as well. It's going to be double Reaper. I think we'll see a couple of Hellions as well. Maybe we'll see a YOLO in. That's been pretty common in the past as well. But I think this map is way too big for that. But we'll see. Also, Classic got away with no scouting, which is pretty big in this matchup.
Yeah, it's very nice. Saves you a few minerals there, hey? And yeah, like you said, it is a big map, but that might be one reason he doesn't expect it. So we'll see this Reaper coming in now, scouting around the natural. No probes to be found, no damage to be found. He does want to... Ooh, okay, he actually denies the Reaper getting in the main. That's nice.
That might fall, actually. If... No, okay.
You think
it was barely out of vision. Because if the Shade follows that, then that's a dead Reaper.
Right.
But yeah,
and when you're making 2, you definitely want to keep that first one alive, right? Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Even super careful.
Oh my, this is gonna die. Unless
he has the second one here. Can he get a sick mine or something? I don't know.
Show us the no.
Show us something.
No, that was disappointing, honestly.
Yeah, I mean when you're
no
doing
way.
No
way.
One.
Okay.
Oh my god,
Clem
2
is
Reapers
shit, man.
down.
If I was there, I would hear bang.
Dude, 2 Reapers going down when you're going for this kind of aggressive Reaper
rough.
Hellion build is so rough.
Me, I would call it a day here,
Just GG out.
Go for a walk, do something else. Not my day, GG, or no GG as we saw last game.
Wow, yeah.
That's been a bit of a trend in Clem's games against us.
Oh, has it?
A little bit, yeah. Especially against Max Packs in the past, I've seen it a couple of times. But who knows, maybe his keyboard is bugged or something. It could be anything, It
yeah,
could be
maybe
anything.
he forgot, like, you never know.
Yeah, it happens to the best, honestly. I've had a couple of those incidents myself. It's never pleasant.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we do see a battery going down here at the natural. And on Clem's side, he's going for some tanks. Classic is going Blink, like we talked about. He's going to go Blink, Robo.
Yep.
Play pretty standard here. I think standard play suits him to a T, right?
Yeah,
like it's really his kind of forte.
Yeah, that's what Classic does best. He picks one build and plays it until it's like for years. He plays that.
Yeah, optimizes it.
Yeah.
Okay, one Cyclone going to drop down here before Blink is done, so that Stalker will fall. Okay, that's something for Clem. He needs a couple more moments like this to kind of get back in this game. He's got to be careful.
He has to be careful, though. Blink is about to be done. I don't know how long it's going to be, but not enough. So Clem just pulls back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he knows that timing. Yeah.
This is pretty fun, He put the pylon there and the third base on the other side. It's like a scouting pylon.
Dude, I like that.
I like that too.
You would expect the third base to go down where the pylon is, right?
These pros players are getting a bit too smart.
Mind games, Rainer. Mind games.
Yeah, they're using their brain actually now.
Imagine if we could do that as Zerg, like put an overlord there. He thinks I'm going to expand this way. But
no.
That is Protoss specific. Okay, he's actually gone for a Liberator this game, so he's going to try and siege that up, fly it all the way around the right side of the map, and go to the main. And behind that, he's going for charge.
It looks like he's going to move out with these tanks as well, which is what we talked about, right? A little bit more aggressive towards the early game. And this is a pretty big map, though, so he has to be careful. I don't think charge is going to be done by the time he shows up on the other side of the map. Man, Classic with these pylons. A bit too locked in for my taste. I hate to see it when Protoss players play well, it's rough.
nasty.
It gets rough.
He's seeing everything, even as the observer there.
Yeah.
And we talked about this being a big map, but actually where Classic took his third from the Terran Natural to that third base isn't so far. But oh, dude, Clem thinks. Does he think the base is on the other side?
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does. Yeah, that's pretty big. I think with this amount of stalkers, oh my god. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, he got it.
Dude, he forced him to siege outside his natural. Normally you can do that like in the middle of the map or something. Maybe he's already forcing sieges. Delaying this pushes a lot.
Yeah, okay. Now he sees no third
base. Now
like,
he actually checked it as well.
And maybe he's tripping balls, you know. He's like, no third base? You know, this could be anything.
Yeah.
You think he got him with that pylon? That would be so sick.
I think Classic's in his head right now. He's playing some beautiful mind games.
Maybe not, because he's still moving out. maybe we're.
But you've got to, right? Like, I mean,
I don't know, man. I don't think it's that deep now that he's moving out.
Okay. It's not that deep. But he is forcing all these sieges out in the middle of the map, delaying this push a ton, which is great for him. Going for the Robo Bay behind this, as well as +1. Charge is just finishing up. So I think Classic's looking pretty good here in the mid game.
Yeah. This is definitely a dream scenario for Klaus. I don't think he lost any probes. He dealt with everything pretty well. Killed the 2 Reapers. This push did nothing. His Colossus are on the way soon. He warped in a sentry, so he's lacking a little bit of gas. Sees the Liberator go back. He's following it with the Observer still. I think once Classic gets to like 150 supply, the trend. Oh my god, what was that?
Well, that was a crazy blink in there, and he actually doesn't get the tank. And gonna lose some stalkers for his troubles. Okay, that one does get away.
It's insane, no? He only lost 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised actually.
Yeah, same.
But like, he's in such a good spot. He doesn't need to do these kind of crazy plays, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. It could still be a little bit scary because Clem has good timing here. Double drop going into Classic's base now, and I don't know. We'll see if he spots that. Clem definitely saw the pylon on the side of the map, so he'll take a different route. Doesn't look like there's an observer on the right side anymore.
There is still one there.
There is.
The medevacs
And he spots it.
And he spots it. Wow, that's so
rough.
sick.
That's rough.
Yeah, I mean, at least Clem sees the observer and is able to scan and take it out. But like you said, he wanted to kind of make a beeline between the pylon and the main base, so he wasn't spotted. But Classic saw that he had a blind spot there and put the observer in the perfect place.
Yeah, that was pretty sick by Classic. And now he's gonna go for an engagement here. He's gonna let the mines borrow. One of them dies. He has to be a little bit careful because he has no thermal lens yet. I mean, this kind of move is always good because the Terran is not allowed to siege up it that way, but he has to be a bit careful. Second Colossus is about to come out. Once that comes out, I think he's gonna be completely fine. And I wouldn't be surprised if Clem just retreats now. I think he killed a bunch of units, and he should be happy with this trade, and he just pisses off, goes home.
Yeah,
chills out, you know.
Absolutely. And behind this push, he was able to put his own third base down. He's got this Liberator still alive, able to take out a few probes here at the third and be annoying. And yeah, he's moving a lot of units around this right side of the map here through the speed zones. I think he wants to get rid of that pylon.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of
that pylon's super annoying. Then he can start harassing again in the main base later on.
Is it me or is this spot? That's a nasty spot for the lib, I think.
Yeah, that's a great Liberator spot. I think it actually didn't go down. Okay, blinks in, finds these drops, and able to take out 2 of the medevacs here, a bunch of units. They will have to run away in the orange.
This looks so silly.
But in the meantime, Clem's running into the third base of here, and he actually sieges up on the ramp. Beautiful position. Classic has to recall home right into some mines. Some good shots here, and but Classic has enough.
Just cleans it up, yeah, just cleans it up. This is really scary now for Clem, especially because of the counter-attack that's coming his way. Classic is also going for a War Prism. He stopped making probes. I wouldn't be surprised if he just sends it now. And also we have to note that Clem lost all of his medivacs, basically. He only has 1 left. He's making 1 more now, but that means he has no Vikings. He basically only has 2 Vikings and 1 coming his way for the 2 Colossus that are out. Yeah, I think it can get really scary now for Clem, so let's see if he can handle that.
Yeah, dude, there's 3 Colossus out with Thermal Lance. They're going to do so much damage.
Oh, it's 3, not 2?
What?
It is 3, yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was 2.
Yeah, 3 Colossus already. Only 2 Vikings out. When you got more Colossus than Vikings, that's normally pretty good.
It's not a good day for the Terran then. And only 1 medivac as well, which means every steam is going to be deadly.
And these units are already so low in HP. A bunch of them in the orange. This War Prism finds its way into the natural, drops off some Zealots there, and he's going to walk more in the main, presumably, and that's going to be it.
Clem doesn't even try. He's like, yeah, War Prism again, ruined his day the first time. He doesn't want to get his day ruined twice. Just calls it a day.
I mean, dude, you got Zealots in the natural. You know
it
that
was
big
over.
War
We agree it was
main,
over.
like,
I would,
and the push
I would
the
play it out, personally. I think a lot of players would, but I also respect calling it right there, you know, just...
Yeah, absolutely. I think Clem knew that he was dead at that point. Classic, just making that blink build, like you said, he's played it so many times, optimized it fully, and he's just so good at that macro style where you get your bases early, you get your blink, storm. This game he went for Colossus, made good use of them. He's looking super clean right now.
Yeah, he does. Even against Zerg, he's a pain in the butt. In the butt, yeah.
Pain in the butt.
Pain in the butt.
Yeah. Okay, guys, please check out the RSL YouTube. It is Revive SC2 over on YouTube. This helps the RSL grow. And we have heard your feedback about the VODs. We've been improving that. It's an ongoing process, but the VODs will be getting better in the future. So please check us out on YouTube at Revive SC2 and Twitter, etc.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for checking that out. And we have finished our first set of the day.
Yep, that was exciting.
Yeah.
Well done to Classic.
Yeah, well done to Classic.
It's not easy to beat Clem nowadays.
I mean, it's very difficult, right? He's right up there at the top.
He's not bad, yeah.
He's the guy to beat right now, I would say, and world champ. So,
yeah.
Well done by Classic. We will have our next series coming up here pretty short, and that will be right after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the RSL. I'm Sturgeon, joined here once again by Reina. We just had a good first set of the day. Classic able to take it out. And up next we have a TVZ.
My favorite matchup.
Your favorite, your favorite matchup.
No.
Now it's going to be Shin as the Zerg. He was able to take out Hero in his first winners match. And on the other side is Kyo, who I know you have some feelings about right now.
Yeah, no. We were just talking about the Ley Lines game, where he just kind of sat there and did nothing. But that's the way of life, you know. Sometimes.
I mean, if it works.
It works. It's not bad. I think I could have done a lot better. As I said, I played pretty bad. I think that series overall, I was feeling a bit off. I've been battling Jet like pretty hard, and I don't know why it took me so long to get used to it. And just today, like last night was the first night where I actually slept like a human being, you know.
And then it all came together and you got a 3-0.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Amazing what a good night's sleep can do.
Yeah, I know, dude. I was on 2 hours of sleep most of the days here.
2 hours?
Yeah, because I kept, no matter what time I went to bed, I kept waking up after 2 hours. It was pretty sick, yeah. Not fun at all.
Yeah, I can't function in just daily life of 2 hours,
I
let
kept
alone
waking
play
up at
high-level StarCraft.
I kept waking up at like 2 a.m. where I was like, okay, you know, I guess I'll play some League or something. I don't know, then go to the gym, clean my house, and it's still like 7 a.m. I'm like, this is awful.
You know what the worst part about that sounds? 2 a.m. League.
No,
on the Korean server.
That was not the worst part. The worst part was trying to get through the day and not falling asleep at like 2 p.m. You know, that was awful.
Right. Okay, here we are. We see our players on the screen. It's Shin and Cure. The first map's going to be on Ultra Love. Shin's got his nice green screen there.
He's looking excited.
Yeah, he can't wait to play.
He's like,
split map against Saren.
1 hour game where he just sits there. Yeah, this is my jam, you know. The only guy that loves that kind of game is Saren, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, Jonas' blood he just pumps, you know, like whenever he sees the Terran does nothing, he's like, yeah, I'm so excited to do nothing myself as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just loves it.
Cure, on the other hand, he's looking locked in. He's we're getting ready to fire up this first game here.
I just want to point out that we have 2 new maps. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, true. What are your thoughts on these maps? Have you played them much?
No, I've played a couple of games on Kill Switch. I played against Classic.
Yeah.
Smashed my desk after that one. That was not fun. And I haven't played the others that much.
Fair enough, yeah. I mean, some of these new maps are super interesting. The hardest thing about them is saying the names. These map makers are getting very creative with the names. But here we do move into Ultra Love. I can say that one.
Yeah, that one's easy.
Yeah, and in the bottom left, we have the Zerg player in blue. It is SHIN. And in the top right, the Terran player, Cure.
Exciting. I already know what's going to happen this game. You want my prediction?
What's your prediction?
Cure is going to go for Aatrox.
Aatrox?
Yes. Cure is definitely going to go for Aatrox.
You think this is the map for it?
Oh, no, Cure is
He's
the guy for it. He's the guy for it.
He's the guy for it.
Yeah, he always finds the nastiest. Whenever I play against Cure, I already know he's going to find the nastiest tank spot there is on the map. That's what Cure does best, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like he studies them and like he sleeps over the maps and he's like, yeah, this is the tank spot. And
Yeah.
on Ultra Love, I've played against him many times. And many times I lost to Aatrox even though I knew it was coming. And it's never fun.
Yeah, such good execution with these builds. And when we talk about Cure, I was saying earlier, I feel like he's somewhat, not too much, but a little bit underrated. You obviously have Maru as the kind of the top Terran in Korea. But Cure's been at the very, very top level for so long now. And he's so solid as a macro player. And like you said, he can push, or he can split the map and sit back and do nothing. He's very mechanically sound, so we'll see what happens in this game. It's going to be just a normal Reaper opening hit for the Terran.
We're going to see gasless opening from SHIN.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's very common nowadays. You just go 15 hatch, you delay your gas. You usually take it around 240, and he goes and takes it earlier, so it might be speed. But usually nowadays you see roaches off of 15 hatch. So we'll see what's up with that. But SHIN is also a big fan of roaches. We've been seeing roaches and infestors from SHIN for a while now. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, especially because he's probably going to expect Aatrox as well. It's not a big secret that Cure likes Aatrox.
Right.
So infestors, quick hive is pretty good against that.
Yeah, why do you think that style works so much better than kind of Lingbane? Like, we don't really see Lingbane Muta as much anymore, but like Lingbane and Hydra, for example. How do you compare those two styles?
The problem about Lingbane is that the Terran can just sit there forever and take his time even with the Aatrox. They can just siege forward slowly, but once Ultras come out and Infestors are out, it's pretty hard for the Terran to do anything off of Aatrox. So you kind of force them to push into you, and while doing that you have Infestors, which are pretty good when the Terran just moves into you. So that's kind of the dynamic of that style. And it's going to be third base here coming in from SHIN. I don't know if it's going to be speed. I would be surprised if it's link speed, honestly.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, if you haven't made it by this point, you're probably not going to get it, right?
I mean, he could get it, because, yeah, there it is. Because I was about to say, usually you don't get 2 drones on gas this fast if you want to go roaches, because it's a bit of overkill. So this is a bit of a mind game, perhaps, coming from SHIN. A lot of Terran players expect, oh, this creeper is dead. Sucks. This kind of thing can ruin your day pretty quick.
Yeah, the Reaper doing a good job there, picking off that tumor. Back home, he's got the factory, he's going Hellions, got his Starport on the way. This Reaper just being a nuisance, running around the main base, trying to pick off anything he can, but pretty soon, eventually once the speed's done, he will have to go home or die. May just die here. But he gets a full scout of the main, that's nice. He sees the gas, he can see how much has been mined there. He sees there's no cheese coming out or anything. 12 Lings firing up just to deal with these Hellions if they decide to dive or, push at the front. And it's going to be a Banshee follow-up here.
Yeah, classic Banshee coming out from Cure. I think we're going to see Cloak. A lot of the time it's cloakless as well when they go for these Aatroxes, especially on a map like this where it's pretty short. And yeah, I think this was a bit of a mind game coming from SHIN. 15 hatch into link speed, you don't see it often. You usually see roaches, as I mentioned. But Cure did a good job on checking up the gas timing. And yeah, so did he stop at 4 Hellions? Maybe he's doing more now.
Yeah, we don't see any more in production here.
There it is.
Okay, there it is. Just fires up 2 more. So he's going to have a lot of presence on the map. Another 10 Lings coming out here for SHIN, and now going into the Roach Warren and Spores to deal with that Banshee. That Overlord does just barely survive on red HP. That's nice. Gets to see the third base timing there. And we'll have to see if these Banshees can get any damage done. But it looks right now that Shin's very prepared for this. He has his
Oh, he
scores
cancelled
on time.
Cloak, actually.
Cancels Cloak after the Overlord scouts it, right?
Yeah, but as I mentioned, on this kind of map, it's pretty common for Terran players to cancel Cloak, and Shin here goes for a run by. It's not gonna achieve anything pretty much. You're always very defensive with the Hellions, and this is why Shin made so many links. Rather than just wanting to deal with them, he wanted to go for a run by with a small portion of them, and didn't quite work out. So his economy is not as good as it could be right now.
Yeah, for sure. And he even left the Banshee at home, not just the Hellions. He even left the Banshee there just for a moment. So no chance of that run by doing any damage. And like you said, Shin's drone count, maybe not where it could have been, but he is making 11 at a time right now. So we'll be going up into the 60s. And where do you think the right points to cut here against this? Like, how many drones are you going for?
Oh, against the Aatrox?
Yeah.
Usually you want to cut at 76 if you're going Lingbane. Around the same amount if you go for Roaches. I think that's the stock standard right now, and we're already seeing the extra axes coming up. I think we're at 7 already.
Yeah, all the racks is going down. Cure does have 1-1 halfway done. The armory is on time as well, so he's gonna have an upgrade for quite some time if he decides to use that for a timing or not. We'll see. Roach speed on the way. Like you said, he's going to be playing Roach. I guess Roach Ravager Lingbane for a while.
Yeah, he's making a lot of links, and he's going for +1 range, which is kind of odd. If you make this amount of links, you always want to have melee. There it is, the Infestation Pit. And yeah, as you said, it's probably going to be Roach Ravager, Ling... What? Never mind. Hydra then coming down, so...
Oh, complete switch up here. This is like kind of weird, right? Going for the speed, then going into Roaches.
I hate it, because against Aatrox, lurkers are not as good as they used to be, because the Aatrox timings are pretty sharp nowadays, and especially on a small map like this, I wouldn't be surprised if Shin just straight up dies, but we'll see. Personally, I hate it.
Okay, well, we'll see what Shin is able to get done here. He does have a ton of lings running around, looking for any openings that they can, trying to get into the natural. The Hellions are there, but they're... Okay, he actually jumps on the tank of the natural. That's a nice pick off, but he did lose quite a lot of links for this. Do you think this is worth?
No, absolutely not. I don't think so, personally. Oh, but Queens... Oof. Medivacs almost fall down. And now... What is this? Is he gonna be Roach Hydra? The Koreans have been going for Roach Hydra for quite a bit now. I've seen Rogue do it a couple of times. But I don't know, it felt like Shin kind of shot himself on the foot right here with this amount of links early on, and then tried to go for the run by again, and now his economy kind of sucks. And Cure wasn't really set back at all, other than losing that one tank, which is not the best, but it's not the end of the world either. And this 2-2 timing is pretty sharp. Personally, I don't see how Shin holds it, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's always tempting to jump on a kind of juicy target like a tank if you see it available, and you know he went for it. Doesn't turn out to be a good trade in the end, and we're just approaching the 8-minute mark now, and we don't see like the best creep spread. It is starting to spread out in the middle of the map, but he doesn't have much coming out of his 4th base there. Do you think the Terran's going to push to the 4th? It's quite a short rush distance here,
usually
right?
what they do is they set up around this middle area. They have Banshees on the sides to deal with the run-bys, and they just push and take it slow from that point on, which I think is what's going to happen here. When the 2-2 is about to be done, we'll see a move out. And Shin is not firing up that hive, by the way. It's not been going... Since, it started now, but the Infestation Pit legit ended 2 minutes ago.
Right.
So Vipers are not going to be out for the push, and it's just going to be pure Roach Hydra against this massive army of Cure, which also, by the way, went for 4 Tech Club, so he's pumping out 4 Marauders at a time, and 2-2 is about to be done, and as I said, he's moving out, so we'll see how Shin handles it.
Yeah, he's going to have a huge Marauder count, like you said, to deal with these Roaches, but also he retained all his Hellions, which he makes now into Hellbats, which will be really useful against the Zerg. Here's the push you're talking about. He's going to go straight onto Creep, siege pretty offensively. Shin's going to try and go for the surround here. Tons of Roach Ravager moving on the right side, but these tank shots are huge. He's pushed back, and he is maxed out, so he's got an army, but oh my god, he's got to try and get something done here. Pushes in again. I don't know, it's looking like Shin might just
it's closer than
not be able to deal with this.
Yeah, it's closer than expected, but 2-2 bio absolutely melts Roaches and Hydras. The reason why it was closer than expected is because I think Cure thought there were going to be more Roaches, but instead it's a lot of Hydras, and Marauders aren't as great, and now we'll see Shin trying to hold on here. It's freaking dead, man.
Yeah, it's looking rough here for our Zerg player as he's pushed back, not going to be able to defend his 4th base. I mean, look at he's walking 3, 4, 5, 4 tanks right up in it, not even sieging them, just gunning down this Roach Hydra. 15 drones go down, even a Liberator sieging up between the natural and the third, and that's going to be it. GG, Shin takes game number 1.
I was spot on, no, with the prediction.
You called it, man. You said he's going to be an A-Rax, and hey, it was an A-Rax.
It was definitely an A-Rax.
He said he's going to die, and, well, he died.
He died, yeah. Against this kind of push, especially on a map like Ultra Love, you have to be mega sharp. Like, super sharp. You have no idea the kind of game that I lost just because I lost like 3 drones. And I'm not even kidding you. And Shin made like 60 links, and then his hive was too late. And when I saw that hive going down at like 7 minutes and him making Hydras, I knew like he's gonna die here.
Yeah,
There's
so
no
are
way.
you normally trying to get Vipers out to deal with that push in time, or is it a little bit too early?
It depends, because basically the Terran can just push whenever he wants. And you don't know when he's gonna push, because you can't read his mind. So
yeah, they don't always
and on a
have
map
to
like
go with
this,
2-2, right?
the moment you see him move out, it means the moment he's at your door. So you have to be ready. And a lot of people, what they do is they stick on Lingbane and try to get a surround going. But if the Terran maxes out and just camps there until they're maxed out and then moves on creep, then you need Vipers. So it's a bit rough. And to be honest, Ultra Love is just broken for Atrax.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, like you said, the key moment where was him making all those lings and then not being able to get anything done with them, right? He goes for the double run by the third and the natural. He gets a tank, which is nice, but that's it, basically. He didn't get any economic damage done. He didn't trade the units out well, and from that point, it kind of felt like it was just a matter of time until that 8-Rax timing hit.
I'm so confused. Did Shin pick kill switch? Because I think this map is great for Terran. It's so insanely short, and I don't know. I just don't see it. What did maybe he has some plan on it. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, maybe some cheeky builds coming out here.
Yeah, because even when I saw this map being played out on Biana against Chem, that was a massacre. It wasn't even close. You know?
Oh yeah, dude, Beyond made this map look very, very bad for the Zerg.
I think it is really, really bad. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, Shin is a master chef out there. He's been cooking stuff left and right, and I'm excited to see it.
I'm surprised Zergs are playing on this map. Like, is this?
Me too, dude. I don't know.
I mean, do you not ban that map first? Is there other worse maps? Do you think? In the pool?
Think the grid is also pretty bad.
The grid.
But I think all the new maps, I didn't like them for Zerg, so I don't know. I would personally veto this first or second. Yeah,
generally these shorter rush distance maps do favor the Terran, as they have a ton of quick timings that can go from their base to yours. Going to be the case. But yeah, you just look at this mini map and the distance is so short between the bases. Yeah, and there's even the slow zones, which to be honest, if I think about the interactions there, Lingbane going through slow zone into tank shots, that doesn't sound too fun. So I don't know. Maybe as I said, Shin has something cooked up, but so far it just looks like a standard 16 hatch. And you already know when it's a standard 16 hatch, there's very little stuff you can do, because basically one bench just shuts down every Zerg cheese. There's a chance he goes for Nidus. I think the map is the main base is pretty big on this map. And Shin has been a notorious Nidus fan in the past. Yeah, well, hopefully the Nidus goes better than it did for Cham yesterday, which was kind of sad. He tried to get the Nidus up 3 times, shut down every time. Like you said, it is going to be a standard hatch gas pool here, and yeah, Cure does like the Banshee opening, so that will be good against a lot of the cheeses. But we'll have to see what he's going to go for here. Yeah, and I don't know, man. I would have been more excited if it was a 15 hatch, because then I think something like a Roach opening is better on the short maps like this. But usually nowadays when you see 16 hatch, it almost always is just link speed and then either Roach follow up or just standard link bane. But can you talk about that a little bit? Why you think the 15 hatch is so much better for that compared to the 16 hatch? So basically the way 15 hatch works is that you have more cash if you go gasless and you delay your gas. And if you go 16 hatch, you always get link speed pretty much. And I think you can see from the gas count already, he's been mining up to full almost. So he's definitely going to get the link speed. And when you go 15 hatch, you can cook up a little bit more. You can go for the double queen because when you go 15 hatch, you can skip the 4 links. Right. That's a big part of it, because the queen will be out in time to defend the Reaper. And yeah, you're able to get that online a little bit quicker. Here he's having to use the lings. They are here in time though. The Reaper's going to pod and proc, see if he can get any damage done. No kills so far. He's dealing with this pretty well. Microing those weak Zerglings back. The queen will come out, instantly fires up 2 more queens.
Okay.
and going for an inject instead of the creep tumor. Do you like that, going for the double inject or the tumor?
I mean, it's
at the
okay
net?
if you plan on delaying your third base, and he's also not making link speed, so I wonder if it's going to be some Roach. I think SHIN has been trying to mind game a little bit here, Cure, because as I said in the first game, he went 15 hatch and link speed. He might just go for 16 hatch and Roaches here, which I wouldn't hate personally.
Yeah, dude, no link speed, and he's already up to 150 gas.
That's
so
a lot of gas, man.
That is a lot of gas.
Is he going to fire up a lair? That would be so exciting.
Dude, a 3-minute layer? Is
Yeah.
it 2-base muta?
No shot.
We're back.
Well, it is
That's
actually.
That's my ladder build, dude.
Dude,
2-base muta was so back, man.
2-base muta is so bad. It's so bad. But it is going to be that lair.
I'm playing builds from 2005. I'm gonna make it work.
Dude, they're so bad, legit. Like, it sucks.
Yeah, that's all I know, man. Yeah. Okay, the Reaper tries to get in here and get
Oh,
a
he
scout.
did.
Oh,
Come on, man,
he
that's so
sees the
lame.
layer.
That's so lame.
Absolute nightmare for SHIN here, as that Reaper's gonna see the layer. Oh my god.
Yeah, that sucks. Because now Cure knows what's up. He goes for the Viking. I wouldn't be surprised if he cuts Helion count. He would have been a bit more on the guessing game if he didn't see that end. As you can see here, he already cut the Helions. I think he has like 2 or 4 maybe. I think only 2. And yeah, he's allowed to cut more corners now. And I don't know what SHIN is gonna do. It's just oh, I know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be fast infestation pit. Quick infestation pit. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Come on, man. Lock
Say it
in.
with me, chat. 3, 2, 1.
Maybe +1 carry base first.
I trusted you, dude.
But that's pretty lame because there is a build, and SHIN has played it in the past. If you go infestation pit as soon as the lair finishes, you can get like a 6-minute ultras or something like that.
Oh,
and
sick.
it's pretty good on the small maps because Terrans always push into you. And this was awful for SHIN because he lost the Overseer without scouting absolutely anything.
Yeah, Kira actually going for that Viking there, able to take down the Overseer, just wasted money on that. He is 3 Cs at home, macroing up. We see Roaches now coming out of SHIN. He's only on 46 drones, but just going to make a few to defend any early shenanigans, and then he's going to go back to drone in here. And we have some spores coming down. Do you think this is going to be aggression from SHIN?
Dude, I don't know what this is, but this looks awful. I'm not
But you
gonna
can't
lie.
just play a macro game with Roaches, right? Like, I mean, sorry, you can play a macro game with Roaches, but on this map, like, I feel like it's so good to be aggressive with them.
Yeah, maybe it is gonna be some sort of timing, but I just don't see it, honestly.
I mean, he's gonna like you can walk tanks
There it
from
is,
the
the
third.
infestation pit.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
there it is. You called it, Reina.
Yeah, but it's a bit late for my taste. Whenever I go for this kind of build, you know, I just send it. And Cure is actually pooping his pants a little bit. He has bunker, he has everything set up here.
Yeah, actually forced to lift that CC. That's very bad for the economy.
His tank
And this is
production
only
a bit late,
5
though.
Roaches there. Like, there's not that big a Zerg army right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but he doesn't exactly know what's going on. He just saw fast lair, so he's been playing it safe. I think once he gets his tank out, his medivacs out, he's gonna be a lot more relaxed in this game. And I don't know, if I'm Cure here, I just do kind of the same thing. I just max out 2-2 and just send it. But 3 infestors on the way now, very different from what we saw last game.
Absolutely. These infestors are going to be really, really useful. Trap in the bio, lock it down so you can get those good Roach Ravager shots. No Hydras on the way this game.
It's mispositioned.
Oh, it's just off there.
Dude, you don't have to...
If you do that,
come
do
on,
you
man.
reposition it, or do you just say...
I would reposition it.
Yeah,
I would
you think
definitely
it's worth it?
reposition it. But foul move from Mapu there, showing it like 5 times. Making it looking... I don't know, man. Putting
Making him
shit
look
down
bad.
like this, that's rough. You know, it happens to the best Zerg players out there.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Hive on the way as well. I think this is going to be Ultras actually, but it's pretty weird because he has no link split. It's literally just Roaches and Infestors. We'll see if Fungal can do something. I don't think the Infestors have been spotted just yet.
Yeah, we do see that Hive on the way. One weakness of playing Roaches is that you don't have anything that shoots up, right?
Dude, he's making links, but he has no link speed. Right? Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
yeah.
He fires it up.
I thought I was tripping. I was like, I've been checking up on it.
Did he mean to get that before? This seems
Yeah,
like
for sure.
the wrong way
This
around,
was
right?
really late, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but better late than never. He is going to fire it up now, and he's making a ton of units here. A lot of Roach Ravager. This 4th base is misplaced, but it might not matter if he's going to just send it. I mean...
If it's me and I check the VOD and it's been brought up like 15 times, you know, like, that's awful, man. Like, just let it be.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us, for real. And
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is SHIN is going to stop around 76 drones, as I mentioned before. That's a good drone count to stop at. And it's just going to pump out units.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
like
see
this.
that? I think he just killed one of his own Ravagers.
Oh dear.
Perhaps.
Yeah, okay. But nonetheless, we do like this. Taking out the rocks, increase the surface area a little bit, make the choke not quite as big. These little marine forces are poking out on the map. Obviously, he doesn't have anything that shoots up, apart from queens and spores right now. And there it is, the Ultralisk, like you talked about. And he's starting to go into the melee upgrades as well. Do you think eventually, if this game somehow goes late, he goes for less roaches and just more Ling, Ultra?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, you don't really want roaches anymore now. Yeah, this is... Okay. That's not that bad. He only lost 3 Marines, actually.
Yeah, almost got that medevac. That would have been nice. We have to see this base one more time. Just
there it is, yeah. yeah, we see it.
Just to check, it's still off, yeah.
Still out of position.
Yeah,
hasn't moved. Not Terran.
Yeah. Okay, 4 Ultras coming out now, and yeah, Ultralisks are a unit that sometimes you can get them out and hit a good timing with them before the Terran has the Marauder count or the Ghost count that they need to deal with them.
Yeah.
And then sometimes later on they can kind of become a little bit worse, like kind of drop off a little bit.
To be honest, like Cure is very good against this kind of stuff. Like, I don't think he's gonna move out at all here. I think he's just gonna camp it up a little bit, and I think that's kind of what you want to do against Ultras, especially on a map like this. It looks insane, like it's insanely short, and it looks really hard. Oh my god, fungal! Oh, that's good.
Oh, gets the fungal. 3 medevacs fungal there, and a ton of Marines going down, but the tanks are kind of staggered here. Okay, actually manages to pick one off with the corrosive.
Cure has to
very
be
nice.
careful. His supply is kind of dropping down, and he might die to this Ultras if he's not careful. Because he has no Marauders. His tank count is falling down a little bit. He's getting the lips now because he realizes he has to be really careful. These Vikings are so annoying because now SHIN made Vipers, but the problem is he has nothing that shoots up. So by the time he's across the map with the Vipers, they will already almost be dead.
That's a very good point. And he's actually just patrolling them in the middle of the map here. He knows there's nothing that can kill them apart from the Infestors, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to like chain fungal 2 Vikings, are you?
Yeah, I think you wanna bring the Queens, but SHIN is just gonna send it here. Oh my god, Cure,
oh, this is such a tight choke point with the Ultras trying to fit their big bodies through it. They will get up the ramp though. And they're starting to push in. The bios go down on the tanks, taking out a couple. Does SHIN have enough here to just push through and send this game?
Yeah, I think SHIN has enough. Cure a little bit late on the Marauder production. His tanks died a little bit in the previous minute. And I don't know, I think he's just dead now. It's rough.
Yeah, it looks like SHIN's done it. Ultra's in the natural. 8 SCVs going down. That CC has to lift off. Not even upgraded. And yeah, these Ultras are so difficult to deal with. Only 9 Marauders out, not the biggest count.
Yeah, not the biggest count, but SHIN has to be a little bit careful because it's so easy to lose games once you get stuck on between the buildings against Terran. And Cure is evacuating his SCVs. I think Cure is kind of dead, but as I said, SHIN has to be a little bit careful because we've seen it in the past as well from SHIN. I don't want to bring up past games, but he did something like this against Clem in Maganata where he had the game, but he just kept pushing between buildings and Terran just kept killing the Ultras, and it can get pretty sketchy. And now he's doing the correct thing. He's getting Bailings behind it. He's getting Burrow, so he could borrow a couple of Infestors as well. And yeah, it's a pretty rough situation here from Cure.
Yeah, he potentially looked like he was going to overextend there, but he does pull back in the end. He gets 20 SCVs. He has that nice eco lead now. He's sitting pretty comfortably on 5 bases. And yeah, it looks like he did have a good plan for this map. This Ultra timing worked super well. And I guess he's going to remax and go again, but this time with Banelings.
Yeah. I personally don't see how Cure handles this one. It's going to be rough, especially because it's making Libs and there's already a decent Ravager count out, so I don't think these Libs are going to do enough. And walking through piles, Giga Chat showing what's up. And Viper even getting a
he doesn't have Baneling speed yet though. These are slow Banelings, but maybe it's not even going to matter. Pushing in so many Ultras here, tanking all these shots at the front, just chewing through everything. Tons of Ling Bane flooding in. And yeah, wow, this looks really good for SHIN here. Gets into the natural. GG is cold.
Yeah, damn. Good stuff from SHIN. I was a bit doubtful when I saw his infestation pit timing because you can get even faster Ultras. Me, I would have them 2 minutes earlier.
2 minutes? Dude, if that push hit 2 minutes earlier, ooh.
No, it kind of sucks, but sometimes it works. And it's cool to have Ultras at 6 minutes, you know? So you just do it for the style points as well.
Yeah, so we were talking about this map being pretty bad for Zerg, but
I mean, you can, as I said, like this kind of ultra timing is pretty good on short maps because you kind of make the Terran not be able to attack into you, and then you have a strong timing yourself. So you kind of circumvent the issue by just going with a build like that. And yeah, that was very well done.
Yeah, very well done by SHIN. I believe
I think we have a break.
we are going to be heading to a break shortly, so stay with us, guys. More action coming up soon, right after the break.
Welcome back, everybody. Tasteless has been tagged into the cast. I'm super stoked to be casting with Rainer here. We're tied up 1-1 here in what's been a pretty interesting match so far here, SHIN versus Cure.
Yeah, that was exciting, especially the game 2 build. I really liked it, and yeah, very well executed. And now map 3 is going to be ley lines.
Yeah, what is your take on this matchup with ley lines?
I think the Koreans, they love the late game on this map. Like, I've noticed this. They've been just camping on this map very often. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cure does something like that again.
Yeah, it feels like we have a lot of really long games on this map.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think the best part about ley lines is that you have a high ground where you can put your tanks and sensor towers. It gets pretty annoying for the Zerg to engage into that. And yeah, I think the Koreans just love that.
Yeah, we're going to be hopping into this game in a second here. Can we actually quickly throw up the Patreon thing real quick here? Guys, consider signing up for our Patreon. Patreon.com/Revive SC2. Any amount that you can give is appreciated. We intend to carry the torch forward here for StarCraft II. You know, after EWC, we're going to be starting almost immediately here with Season 2 of RSL. We're hoping if we can get to our next goal, we'll eventually unlock a live event. We're going to rent out one of these esports studios or stadiums here in Seoul and have a place where we can actually have a live audience. So please consider signing up. Going into this with Cure versus SHIN, is there one player that you think is a clear favorite here?
No, I think it's pretty close. I would say Cure is slightly favored. But it's not that much. I would say like maybe 55.
Yeah, you know, SHIN lately has looked extremely strong.
Yeah.
I kind of wasn't used to it. I think some of these guys I've casted for so long, I kind of get used to them placing always in a tournament in a certain way. But yeah, I mean, SHIN's looked incredible, but Cure, I think, has given us some of the craziest games, including versus you.
Yeah,
that was wild one, man.
Yeah, that was wild. Perhaps you guys enjoyed it more than I did.
Yeah, it did look like a painful loss to go down. It was interesting to see that kind of turtling, what I oftentimes call like exhaust play, is still like very much viable.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah, because for a while it was like we saw Mario doing it all the time, but it wasn't as common. Okay, whoa.
You know what this means?
Tell me.
It's a proxy hatch.
Yes, this is going to be some scumbag stuff coming out here from SHIN. He's got the drone inbound immediately. And so when I see this is going to be like the proxy hatch probably in the natural or would this be somewhere just like outside of the entrance here?
I would say in the natural, but honestly, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't play proxy hatch.
Yeah, well, I feel like I see this every once in a while versus Protoss, but we're going to have it here against Terran. So Cure, it's also important to note, Cure is making his depot, is basically his wall in here on the low ground. The drone's going to get here immediately and start to attack the SCV.
So basically what happened here is SHIN wanted to block the CC of Cure, but then he saw the depot in the low ground, so that means Turok's Reaper, and he changed his mind. He queued up an Overlord and a pool. Personally, I hate it, but yeah, I don't know. I guess that's what SHIN prefers.
This is one of the weirder starts.
He lost
the drone!
And Cure is going CC first. This is awful. I would leave the game right here.
This is... Okay, this is... Some early games, StarCraft II, it's kind of like, all right, well, we've seen this before. This is like a really weird interaction. So he starts the command center. The barracks is coming. The pool is about to finish here.
This is the worst thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah, this is like a really bad start because it doesn't seem like there's any way for Zerg to punish anything now.
Because look at this. So basically what happened is, after the pool was done, he had to queue up the hatch. So he has 0 cash to do anything from that. And Cure is also walling in the low ground. So he has 0 chance to do any damage across unless he goes for like some sort of roach timing or something, which perhaps is the play. Because I think if you go into link speed here, it just sucks, man. It straight up sucks. And he's mining more gas. It is gonna be link speed.
So is he gonna try to play like just play from behind here, or would it just make more sense to try to do something to end the game immediately?
I think the moment you see the low ground wall, you throw down a roach warren and you hope for the best, because he knows he's not gonna be able to do any damage with the links, and at the same time he's just so far behind from the CC first. Where I legit think the only way you get around this is if you throw down a roach warren and just go for something.
Does Terran always want to get a third command center when they're playing a game like this? I felt like when we first saw command center first really kind of get popular, there were a couple 2-base builds, I felt, and then I think like they all kind of went away, and it's now just like this 3 bases, 8 racks pushing.
Yeah, nowadays 3cc is way more common, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cure just plays 2cc right now and delays his third, because obviously he saw the second hatch of SHIN just going down way too late for a normal hatch timing. And yeah, I think it's going to be that. It's probably going to be some 2cc Banshees into 3rd cc. I would be very surprised if Cure goes for some sort of 2-base push here.
Yeah, yeah. So he can basically just kind of stay back. He's already got such a pronounced lead at this point in time. We have the Roach Warren coming down here for the Zerg. And this is going to be a pretty difficult just overall mid-game or early game here for SHIN here. He's just sort of playing from a deficit. Yeah. There's that third command center like we were talking about.
Yeah, it's a bit delayed compared to usual timing, and it is gonna be that Banshee follow up. But SHIN is going for a very fast 2-gas Roach Warren sort of push. This is really weird, because usually when you want to go for a push like this, you have like around 35 drones and 3 queens, and SHIN only has 23 drones and 2 queens. So this is mega committed, but
yeah, this is going to hit really hard. One thing about this positions on this map, the add-ons are on the inside, which is nice.
Inside,
yeah, you can't just. I mean, well, I guess you could still end up losing add-ons, but it's a little bit harder. And so he's going to try to have this like a battering ram that's going to hit the entrance. The roaches are going to be dealing damage, and I've seen this a lot of times. The players will make lings behind this to kind of just tank the damage, so the roaches can kind of power through everything. Now. I don't know that Cure knows this is coming, but he is getting a Banshee with Cloak. A Banshee with Cloak, I mean, Banshees just in general, that's going to be very nice to try to take out the roaches, but there's going to be so many lings coming up here.
Yeah. The only saving grace here is if Cure doesn't spot the roaches. I think he might have.
Did he see that?
I think he might have, yeah.
Okay, so
he definitely doesn't see those roaches, but he might have seen that one roach. But no bunkers. Oh, there it is. Bunker coming up. I think, yeah, he's definitely seen it.
Yeah, and this is basically a situation where Cure just has to, like, not die and not lose, like, an ungodly amount of SCVs. The Hellions are going to slip behind, and the depot's going to go up here.
Yeah.
And Cloak is almost done here. I guess it doesn't really matter because nothing can fire up. A lot of damage on these roaches out here in the front of the links. Oh, God, it's like such a bottleneck. He's going to try to come in now.
So basically here what happens is if SHIN loses all of his links, it's just going to be dead, and this looks awful, man, for SHIN. The Ravager is going to fall, all the links are going to fall. It's just awful. This game was awful, dude.
This was absolutely a train wreck of a game. GG. Yeah, I mean, look, we can talk about that attack at the end, but a lot of that just came down to the weird interaction at the start.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
He lost the drone, and therefore the command center first couldn't get denied, and the Zerg had started to pull, so Zerg's just like behind from that point in time.
He was dead. He wasn't just behind, he was dead. You lose the drone, you go gas pool into CC first, and then there's a wall of...
I can't say that I blame him for going for the all-in.
No, I would have done the same, but
Yeah.
I would have gone probably for a faster all-in, because then the Banshee is not out, and maybe you have some sort of chance. But
Well, the Hellions were like in a perfect position where, like, when the Lynx tried to shove in, it's like literally they all took damage.
yeah, basically, usually what happens with this sort of push is that you break the wall with the Roach Ravager, and then the true damage dealer is the Link follow-up, right?
Yeah.
But if the Lynx just get melted instant, there's absolutely no chance, because the Banshee takes out Ravagers and Roaches really quick.
Yeah, we're going to be going on to the map Maganatha. What is your thoughts on TVZ on this map?
I think
Or
this is
CVZ?
probably a Zerg map. I don't think it's as Zerg favored as people make it out to be. I think it's maybe 55-45 for Zerg, but it's not bad if you do get into the late game, because I think it's pretty hard to camp on this map. But it can also be really short, because there's rocks you can kill, and then it makes the map so much short. And there's a couple of drop locations that are very good. And I wouldn't be surprised here if we see CC first from Cure. We don't see it often, but on a map like this, sometimes Terrans like to mix it in.
Yeah, it does feel like it's a build you can't do over and over and over again,
Yeah,
but it's a really dangerous build to play because if you pull it off, it's just you're in such a comfortable position.
Yeah, exactly. You can definitely mix it in sometimes, and no, it's not gonna be CC first. It's just gonna be standard one Reaper into CC. It's probably gonna be 3 CCs this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if you just see Banshees again. I think Cure just loves it.
Yeah, no, he seems to go for it a lot, and so this could be a little bit of a slower game in general here, because if we're going to go up to 3 CCs and probably 8 racks with an inevitable push here, where it feels like that real power spike is basically the 2-2 upgrades.
Yeah.
So for Zerg right now, I mean, we got to see. I guess it's one of these games we're going to have to wait a little bit to see what exactly is going to happen here. But when you approach this map as a Zerg player, do you have a specific style you want to try to bring out here, or are you trying to do more of just reading what they're doing and trying to react accordingly?
Usually with Zerg, you have to pick your style before you can see what the Terran is up to. And me personally, I like to mix in Muraling Bane on this map. Generally, Hydraling Bane is pretty strong on this map. I don't really like Roaches on this map. Usually, Roaches are better on the smaller maps. But yeah, me personally, I don't mind Muraling Bane on this map either. So I don't think we're gonna see that, by the way, because not many Zergs like it.
Yeah, it does seem like it's trended down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do feel like with Mutiling Bane, like when you can win a fight, you like swing the game so hard.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like you can catch the first 2 medivacs, and then the game kind of feels over. You have complete freedom from that point. But against a player like Cure, it can get pretty scary to go Mutaling Bane, because he loves the Aatrax so much, and Mutaling Bane is basically free loss when they go for that Aatrax build.
Yeah, it feels like if they can just keep kiting, they will shave you down.
But the major thing is that they just don't have enough. You don't have enough units when you go Mutaling Bane to deal with Aatrax, because you invest so much into the Spire and the Mutas, then you just kind of crumble to Marine and tanks.
In that case, what do you think is ideal versus 8 racks?
I think it's a bit map dependent, but usually you want to go for straight up Link Bane, just Link Bane and mass units on Lair Tech, or sometimes you want to get Infestors and Quick Hive. Depends a little bit on the map and the shape of it. And I think on this map, Link Bane, just pure Link Bane against Aatrax works perfectly fine.
So for now, we've got that the 3rd command center started, and this is going to be one of these games where it's basically Terran both teching and developing an economy before we really start to see that explosion of barracks here. The Reaper's going to come through the main here, and just do a little bit of scouting before getting chased out.
Yeah, Cure has been really good at checking if it's a gas follow-up or gasless, and he just confirms the gas follow-up. He sees the link speed pumping on the pool, so he's just going to queue up some Hellions.
It feels like nowadays with the 3 command centers, we don't see a lot of Zergs try to do anything aggressive at all. It's just not worth it.
Nah, you just can't, because one Banshee just basically shuts down every single all-in that the Zerg has. And yeah, Cure, someone that loves the Banshee so much. Reaper goes down pretty good.
Yeah, we actually got 1 Viking being made over here.
Yeah, but the Tech Lab, it's probably going to be 1 Viking into double Banshee or 1 Viking into Banshee for safety. And
This is probably an Overlord clearing Viking here.
Yeah, exactly. It's always nice to have that Viking out. Forces the Overlords to just kind of go back and not have that free vision you usually have. And there it is, gonna be Starport floating over to the Tech Lab. I'm gonna be a bit surprised if it is Cloak, because I don't think that's very common. I think it's just one safety Banshee that you can just camp. It's good for dealing with Rambais later on in the game as well. Gives free vision.
Yeah, it's kind of an insurance play, so to speak. Like, if they do something cheesy, you at least have this, like, kind of panacea that's thinking to just solve that, no problem. And so the third CC is going to be landed here. So he did not decide to kind of keep this tucked away and make SCVs back at home. He's just going to move right out on the map and try to take that.
This is pretty interesting, by the way. Usually we see Terran players go for Stim and then double eBay, but Cure has decided to delay his Stim actually, and he's been going double eBay before that. It is pretty late now because he still hasn't started it yet.
Yeah, so he's getting the 1-1 upgrade started. And I guess if you're not going to be pushing, delaying Stim can kind of be a good thing, right?
Yeah, it can, but it's too delayed now. Like, he just started it. He could have started it 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a big deal, especially not just for the Stim, but for the combat shield timing, right? Because
sure,
we want to have that fast combat shield, and now with this Stim timing, it's going to be really, really delayed. Kira also lost the Viking, which kind of sucks. You're not supposed to lose that.
Yeah, it's hard. Vikings, it's such a slow unit. If you overextend with it, it's like almost always going to go down here. So we're finally seeing those barracks get thrown down here. Zerg is now getting melee and armor. Are we guaranteed to see Ultralisks here in this game?
Not yet. We don't really know yet. I think it could also be just Hydra Ling Bane. Could also be Ultras. I would be surprised if it's just Ling Bane into Ultra, honestly. I think the most likely choice here from SHIN is going to be those Hydras. And Cure is going for this, what is it, 7 Raxes at this point?
I think you're right. And as you said, the Stim was like a little bit late. So 1-1's about to finish here. So 2-2 is going to be starting.
Yeah,
so
1-1 is going to finish before the Stim. You don't see that very often.
That's pretty rare, actually. Yeah. But I liked what you were saying earlier. Yeah, that means the combat shields are going to be delayed. You know,
yeah.
The big power spike for Terran that usually can like actually let you melt their armies is when you get those 2-2 upgrades.
Yeah,
because you have so much damage output and your Marines just have enough sustain that they can't really do anything. So Stim is wrapping up now. Zerg's going to go up into 5 bases. And I got to say, SHIN's done a pretty good job with paving the map with creep.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's any obvious spot where you could try to push on an edge where there's no creep here.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me a little bit is that SHIN didn't just pump out enough drones, in my opinion. Like, he could have been on 80 drones already, especially given how the early game has been going. Like, Cure legit did nothing, you know? He's just been sitting back and just doing his own thing. And yeah, he's still pretty low on drone count for my taste. Like 71 is not bad, but he could have gotten it a lot faster. And yeah, just Cure doing his own thing. Aatrox 2-2, we've seen this on the first game. It's gonna be maxed out timing, pretty deadly, but not the strongest on this map in my opinion. But we'll see.
Yeah, he's just doing a little bit of roaming right now with the medevac. I don't think he's gonna be able to get that much done. The blocking with the Queens has been pretty impressive. We're getting up into the Hydra tech here too, so it's gonna be Ling Bane Hydra. And this can be pretty devastating if like Terran doesn't engage with it correctly. The damage really piles up. He's going to finish this wall in over here at the 3rd base, so counterattacks are going to be pretty difficult to pull off.
Yeah, Cure does this every game nowadays. He's been doing this wall off pretty consistently, where you just have to go around and then you have to engage into his production rally point, which kind of sucks. And I mean, Cure is kind of the expert of Aatrox nowadays. It's just playing it every other game pretty much. But something I don't like is this 4 Marauder production he's doing. I think it's pretty bad into just straight up Ling Bane Hydra. Because like, if you think about it, what are Marauders good into? Nothing really other than the Bailings, but you don't really, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, it's not like they're going to be helpful versus Lings or Hydras necessarily.
Not really, yeah. They will tank up a little bit, which is nice, but I don't know. I feel like if Bailings connect to your army anyways, it's not looking good for you.
So we're going to be getting to max out supplies here on both sides. I mean, this has been honestly like a pretty slow passive game.
Yeah.
It's been one where like both sides are kind of playing like single player, so to speak, and just, you know, powering up. But we are about to get to the climax here. The Terran is going to be pushing out. Again, I was mentioning Shin's creep earlier. It's gotten so much better. Like, he almost has half the map covered in creep right now. There's a big Ling counterattack here, and there's actually not enough reinforcements. I thought this was going to go into the base, but I guess he saw that the reinforcements were so small. He decided to try to surround that, and that's going to delay the push. The Lings come in once again. There's no bunker here. There's no infantry. There's no nothing. The SCVs have to be pulled right away.
Yeah, and a lot of SCVs are going to go down here, but Shin has to be a little bit careful because sometimes when you go for this massive... Oh my god, this army is also going to die from Cure. I don't think that's enough to kill those Lings, and Cure just doesn't care. He just keeps on going forward. To be honest, I don't really like this push angle from Cure. There's too much space, I think. Like, Shin can just legit come from every side, and that's not really what you want if you go for something like an Atrax. So he has to be a little bit careful here, stepping on creep.
Yeah, he is going to push up, and it looks like Shin's just going to ditch this hatchery. He says it's probably not worth it. He's actually expanding. Call, yeah, well, you know, that's how you can end up throwing a game, right, is if you try to save something that is impossible here. The Ling counterattack is coming in again, but at this point in time, Kira has a huge army. Some of these Banes, no, he's not able to deny any of these Banes from finishing. At this point in time, Kira's moved into the 9 o'clock spot. All the SCVs of that expansion are gone, which means it's really important that Kira makes this work with what he's got, because his production's going to be really hurting.
But he has to be very careful. He's very cranked up in that space. Look at this. Shin can come from both sides. It is pretty scary though as Desert, because you don't really know exactly how much stuff the Terran has over there, and there's no Vipers, and Shin is just going to send it now. Let's see what he's going.
Oh, he's going to come in here from the side. Now there's not that much room for the Terran to try to search that micro away. The Banes are going to hit so hard here. The tanks are wiped out, and there is no way that Kier can make this work. Actually, hold on. He's got a little bit more infantry here.
Yeah, it's pretty damn close, especially with the reinforcements coming up. Man, I'm always surprised to see Terrans doing so well in this kind of fight. And Curie is going to step on creep. He has to be careful, though. His units are low on HP. And I don't know if he has any tanks coming.
Yeah, he doesn't have any energy in the medevacs. So, you know, stims are also, for the time being, permanent damage. We've got the Hive started up here. And I would say, you know, now that we're kind of departing from, you know, the action here, I think Kira's in a bad spot. He lost a lot of workers.
Yeah.
His push failed. It only took out one hatchery, which is automatically replaced in the top right. And this should be a much smoother late game here for Shin.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Kira is going to stop making SCVs altogether, and he's going to try to send it with one more push and 3-3. But I think the moment Vipers come out, or Lurkers, or any sort of new tech from Shin, this game is pretty much done and dusted, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Kira's just still sitting on these 3 bases. Oh my god, a great Baneling run by here. Actually, I guess he doesn't actually kill any SCVs.
Yeah, he doesn't kill any SCVs, but he's keeping him on his side of the map, and he's getting more units out, even stopped a little bit of mining. And Shin over here, he's maybe going to lose a queen, but he's already coming with all of his army. I don't think he's going to lose this hatch.
Yeah, he's going to pull this away. I think he's not going to try to target down the hatchery. He's going to actually lose both medevacs, and the third one's going to barely get away.
Yeah, that's rough.
We're really seeing Kira floundering right now. Failed attack into the worker line, ended up going into the army instead. Yeah, and I mean, at this point in time, Shin is maxed out, just making a few more Lings. I guess Terran can try to wind up and do another attack, but this is looking pretty dire.
Listen, the thing is, like, you gotta be really careful as there, because like sometimes you just die to this kind of push, even though you feel like you're in a good spot. You engage off creep or something happens, something like this run by, it doesn't work out. I don't know if this is a good run by, because it's gonna be a really bad trade, because the units are not going through the tank line. And I think you just give up this base and try to fight him. This is a massive army from Kira.
Yeah, I mean, he mustered a pretty insane army. The Ling counter, I mean, this is pretty good. But what about this actual push that's coming up here from this side? I mean, if Terran can make this push work in micro well enough, maybe?
I don't know, man. All of a sudden, it's even supply, more army supply for Kira. He has upgrade advantages. Yes, he's stepping on creep, but I don't know. His army just looks deadly all of a sudden. And as I said, something like that run by not working out particularly well, it's small stuff from the Zerg that can get you in a bad spot like this. He has to be really careful.
Yeah, the spread is looking really good, but there's going to be a lot coming here from Shin. The Lings and the Banes are going to come down. And so far, the targeting on the Banes actually been pretty good. How much more does Zerg have? Okay, there's a lot of Hydras up here at the top.
There is a lot of Hydras, but the Hydras by themselves are not good enough against 3-3 Marines, and I think you're actually broken. He has to be a little bit careful here, stepping on creep. There is two more tanks coming up, yeah. I think Kira's done, right?
I think you're actually just kind of forced his way into a win. He's going to be able to shut down these Banes. I don't know if there's more Banes morphed into. There's not, actually, if you look at the tickers. So, I mean, as long as he can just keep reinforcing this and not let any of these Banes get any super valuable connections, it looks like they're not. Yeah.
He's done it.
This is insane.
This is...
Dude, Cure is so good.
This is a classic Aatrox match. I've had this against Cure as well.
Well, it's one of those games where it feels like the analysis is meaningless because he just kind of powers through it anyways.
Dude, I had the exact same thing against Cure on this map. I don't know if you remember. I was shutting down everything.
Yeah.
And I cleaned up his Reapers, I cleaned up his 2-base push, and then he maxed out, and I got A-moved, and I was like, okay.
All right, I guess I lose.
That's how it goes, I guess. Yeah, sometimes it is the way it is.
Crazy. So that's going to be that 3-1 victory. SHIN, even though SHIN played very well, Cure managed to overpower him there at the end. Before we close out our show, we want to say thank you so much to Archon Studio, our official broadcast partner for Season 1. They are making the StarCraft tabletop miniatures game. I want you guys to go to their website. They've got a lot of really cool products, not just for StarCraft, but the StarCraft tabletop game, that will be available for pre-order at the end, or nearing the end of this year. I don't believe we have the exact dates, so definitely check them out, because then we were able to double the prize pool. Guys, consider supporting the RSL. Go to patreon.com/Revive SC2. You know, it was a weird year for StarCraft. We didn't know, you know, if StarCraft II was going to be at EWC. There was a huge period of basically StarCraft II Dark Ages. There was like nothing going on. And me and my buddies in Seoul just kind of got together and thought, well, let's just make our own tournament. We can have the community fund it, and we can keep it in whatever size and scope makes sense. We are hoping to get to our next goal, which will unlock a live studio broadcast. We'll be renting one of these esports arenas here in Seoul. Yeah, so please consider that. If you're a member, 20% off?
20%
Oh
off?
my God, what a deal! You'd be insane not to buy hoodies, mugs, pins, t-shirts, all that. We've got a lot of great stuff on my merch shop, so please consider checking that out. The support is very much appreciated. And one of the most important things for RSL right now is that, first of all, we're uploading all the full days onto YouTube. We had some hiccups with the internet, so it was like cutting in and out. It was like chopping up the recordings of our live broadcast. It wasn't keeping it all in one place. But anyways, we have the full VODs. It's spoiler-free on our YouTube. When you first start a YouTube channel, it's kind of hard to get the thing to grow. So please consider just going there and subscribing. You know, we got a lot of people that watch this live, but there's honestly a lot more StarCraft fans nowadays that consume the VODs, right? They live in different time zones. It's hard to keep up. So subscribe to our YouTube, please. And of course, you can follow us on X to see what's going on. This is our schedule now. So we have 3 days off, and then we're going to come back hard. 4 days of RSL in a row. On the 13th, we will be crowning an RSL champion. And then the Esports World Cup is just around the corner. So mark that down in your calendar. Here is how far along we are. It's going to be Classic versus Cure here on July 11th. And then down in the losers bracket, SHIN versus Beyond and Clem versus Rainer.
Damn.
How are you feeling about going up against Clem? Can you
feeling good,
You
man.
feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, all of these matches are going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, guys, be sure to join us. It's same time, same place. You can watch us here on Twitch or YouTube or however you prefer to consume our content. Rainer, it was a pleasure casting with you.
Thank you for having me.
I learned a lot. It was excellent.
Glad you did. Thank you, Nick.
Guys, thank you for joining us. We love you, and we will see you in just a couple days. Bye-bye.